Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you just so happen to be stopping by for the very first time, thank you so much for being here. And you guys already know I always throw up a new video every Wednesday, or if I happen to miss the Wednesday deadline, there is a video upload coming up sometime during the week. You may notice that my background is a little bit different because the lighting, for some reason, I don't know, there's a lot of madness going on with the world right now, and somehow I feel like the lighting that's in this room has shifted somehow, so I had to shift too with the lighting. I spent too much time talking about lighting because in this video I am going to be creating one of my neutral/nude series, and I'm going to be using the newest release from artist Couture. It's this Supreme Nudes palette, and the packaging, would you come out? The packaging looks like this. It's very sleek. You know, anybody who follows Angel, he's the CEO and the makeup artist behind the artist Couture brand. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love you. And anybody who knows me and who's been following me on my channel for some time, also on all my social media pages, know that I am completely obsessed. Artist Couture is one of my favorite brands, and let me just show you guys, this is what the nude shades look like in this Supreme Nudes palette. And what I love most about this palette is that the mirror goes all the way back. It doesn't just stay here like most palettes, it goes all the way back. Like me who love eyeshadow palettes that come with mirrors, I think this is just so versatile. The fact that it flips all the way back here, and the colors in here are so freaking gorgeous. I feel like I don't even want to touch it. I feel like I just want to put this down, like just shut this video off. We're not touching these colors because they look so damn gorgeous. Oh my god. So just looking at this, I can already tell that you guys know I love green, so my eye automatically gravitate towards this one. Is called Supreme, and then Opulence would probably be the second color that my eye would gravitate towards. But these, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, you can say 4 shimmery colors. Look at Mink, this deep brown shade. Oh my god, can you imagine seeing this in the crease of your eyes? I want to create this look, but somehow I feel like I just want to put this back right here and just hold it forever and not use it. But since we're already here, we already bought the palette, then let's just use it. So please stay tuned. Right, so I'm gonna start things off, of course, by prepping my eye with my Total Coverage Concealer from Black Opal. Listen, this concealer has been saving my life since this lockdown, only because I don't really invest that much in eyeshadow primers. I've always been one of those persons who prefer seeing some sort of color, but not a full-on color, but you know, some sort of a base that could actually show. I've never been a fan of white base. I know in some instances it's necessary for you to use a white base, but if I had to choose, my preference would always be something that's more on the nude neutral side, you know, something like this, right? Like the nude shades are just, oh, let me just, oh, there's like a sticker thing on the mirror. Oh, let me get this off. I guess this is just to protect the mirror. Oh wow, this mirror is amazing. I can see all of me, like all of. Looking at this palette, right, I could tell that Angel, or if you want to call it Mac Daddy, put a lot of thought into this, because the way how the colors run and the way how the colors are actually laid out in this. Now, a nude palette is a nude palette. That's what most persons would say. But when you think about the colors that are in here, especially this color Mink, you could actually see this like really deep dark skin beauties, like persons who are much darker than myself, using this as a crease color. I mean, because when you think about it, right, the majority of nude palettes that are out there in the market, this color right here, Aesthetics, would probably be the darkest shade of brown you could find in them. So when you have a nude palette that actually incorporates a deep cocoa brown like this, because they're thinking about deep dark shade girls, I'm just like, whoa, I have to buy this. And not only that, the quality of Artist Couture's products are so good. Not only that, but his products are like multi-use products. You could do so many different things with them. Like even their famous diamond glow powders, you could use them as highlights, you could use them inside some sort of mixture to use them on your skin, like as a body glow or body spritz, a body whatever you want to call it. And these I'm looking at these shadows, right, and I could already tell, like especially this one, Opulence, I could probably use this on my skin as well, and possibly as a highlight as well. So that's one of the reasons why I continue to buy from Artist Couture. This stuff is just great quality, and I love the fact that I can use them in so many different ways. So let me just I'm thinking of using this shade right here, which is the shade Nudist. I'm gonna go into that first and use that as my first transitioning color. So let me just, oh girl, wow, what, oh my gosh, look at that. That is some serious. I actually expected this Nudist color to be a lot lighter. Pigmentation in this actually just shocked me. I did not expect that, honestly. I did not. And you know what I'm going to do in this tutorial? I'm going to try to do both eyes at the same time. So I'm going to take some of Nudist again, pack her on my brush, and add some over on this eye as well. I'm going to try to do both eyes. I may not get it done, but I may not get it done, but that's the point. I done did one eye because there are so many different shades of nude in this, and normally you guys know I would reach for the shimmery color, but I wanted to do something that was completely matte because I don't think I've done a completely matte look in a while, like matte eyeshadow look in a while. So let me just run through all the colors that I did, well I used on this. Start off with this shade right here, which is Nudist. I'm gonna start off by blending that into my crease, and that is my first transitioning color. Really trying to do both eyes at the same time, but because I couldn't make up my mind which shade of nude I wanted to use, I was like, you know what, before the stupidness, let me just do everything off camera first, and then I'll show you guys right after what shades I use. So next I'm going to go into the shade just below Nudist, which is Aesthetic. It's this like reddish brown shade, and I'm just gonna use that as my second transitioning color right here in my crease. By the way, I did go up a little, as you can see, I did go up a little bit higher with Aesthetic over on this eye. So I'm going to do the same thing over here because I really want that to be the transitioning color that pops out the most. That's still in the same column. I'm going to go into this deep cocoa brown shade, which is called Mink. And I'm just going to add just a small bit of that on the outer corner of my eye. A fluffy blending brush first, and then I'm going to go in with a smaller blending brush afterwards, just so I can get it to be a little bit more precise on the outer corner. Smaller blending brush, dip that in Mink, and just add it right here. And just drag it over just a little bit, like halfway over in my crease, just halfway over. I don't want it to go all the way over. Alright, then I'm going to go into Aesthetic one more time and just blend away a bit of the Mink that would have gone upward right underneath my brow bone. I don't want Mink to be that far up, so let me just blend her out a little bit. Right after that, I use my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. This one is the shade Warm Honey. This is almost, I use this because of the shade of nude I decided to use for this tutorial. The Warm Honey would kind of brighten things up, not that it needs any help, because these colors are extremely pigmented and they're very buttery, but I really wanted a base that wouldn't take away from the actual color that I use. So I used this. Next I went into this shade right here, which is called Eccentric. In MUADonellaD's release, when he first released this eyeshadow palette, and then he gave a breakdown of each shade, he described this one, Eccentric, as like a mustard yellow. However, I do believe it's going to, well, not I do believe, it did show up a little bit different on my skin's complexion because, you know, he is much lighter than I am, and I absolutely love the shade of this. So I use this as a lid color. I'm gonna show you guys what I did. I just packed this on my lid, just like that, and because it was kind of looking a little bit too mustardy and too brownish, what I did is that I flipped the eyeshadow brush on the other side, and then I went over it. I dipped my shadow brush in Nudist and just applied a bit of Nudist right over Eccentric, just to lighten it up a bit. just like that. You see, this is the shade that I actually wanted. I wanted it to be this like beigey shade. So yeah, Eccentric really looked good. I feel like I could wear it on its own, but that is not the shade I was going for this look. So while my lash is drying down, let me just add a bit of mascara real quick. And she looks like she's ready to be popped on, so let me just add it on real quick. So for my complexion, I decided to use the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation, only because I feel like the spout, like, it's starting to get a little bit clogged again. So I'm trying to just use that up real quick. So you might see me using it in my future videos until it's done, because I don't want it to get clogged and I don't want to have to throw it away, because you know there's still quite a bit of foundation in it still right now. Trying not to waste anything. So for concealer, I'm going in first with my Too Faced multi-use sculpting concealer in the shade Spice Rum first. Gonna put some Spice Rum right underneath here to hide these dark circles first. Let's hide these babies underneath here. Next, I'm going to go over Spice Rum with my Fenty 430. Oh, this concealer is so powerful, right? Like, there's so much you get out of this. I'm trying not to use too much, because both of these concealers, both the one from Too Faced and the one from Fenty, they're both you could almost say full coverage concealers. So I'm going to go in right away, blend that out. Start off on my chin first, because I've kind of been liking the way how my chin looks. I don't know, is that a thing, to actually like how your chin looks with concealer on it? I don't know if it's a thing, but I've been liking it. Just set these concealers in place using the Fenty translucent powder. I'm using the shade Honey. You guys already know I use these two shades, Honey and Banana. I'm thinking of actually expanding the amount of Fenty powders that I have. Like, I feel like I want to try hazelnut and cashew, etc. You know, those shades, just to see if they would work well with my skin tone. But for now, I'm in love with Honey. And then you guys know I use Banana basically as a brightening powder. Put it on top of Honey, and they both just work so well together. I feel like I want to look extra snatched for this tutorial, so I'm gonna put a little bit of Honey right there, right below my contour, because I haven't applied any contour yet. You know, just so it's a little bit more sculpted. After, with my Prime Beauty bronzer in Bronzeville, I'm gonna use that. I'm not gonna use any cream contour for this look. I feel like I just want to add a bit of bronze, and I'm good. And I'm going to go over with the sponge that I use to apply my foundation. I'm going to use that to basically press in the powder that I applied just below the contour. I feel like when I do it like this, the powder blends out much better. For my highlight, I'm going to be using two Diamond Glow powders. I'm going to go in first with Sugar Daddy. Then I'm going to top her with Conceited. Now this is gonna be like real bling blinging, but that's, ooh, I just feel like being extra today. So let me just go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Same brush that I used for my bronzer. I'm going to be using this BH Cosmetics Cream Contour, and I'm just going to add a bit of this right between the contour and the highlight, just to give me just a little flush of color right there. I'm actually gonna have to change brushes. Would I have to? I'm back and my look is completed. If I look like I'm wearing something completely different and I look a little different, it's because I'm filming this outro on the following day, and that's because I kind of ran out of time while I was filming that look, and I knew I didn't have enough time to film the outro. You know, I had to run into another meeting, so I decided to do the outro on the following day. So if I'm, yeah, that's why I'm wearing a different top, and I have this on my head now I originally wanted to do something different, but I was like, look, I don't have time for all that. I only have to do the outro, so let me just do something real quick. So this is the completed look. I did, however, I did everything with the same colors from the Supreme Nude palette from artist Couture. And you guys know I have jumped in fully into this nude / neutral series, and right after that, in case you're wondering what series comes after that, it's going to be the smoky series. I know there are a lot of persons who like smoky eye looks, so I tend to give you guys about maybe 4 or 5 of those, and then we're going to see what comes after that. So I've given you a little hint. Right after the neutral series is the smoky series, and then right after that, I don't want to give that one away yet. So you definitely have to keep it locked. Go ahead and click the subscribe button if you want to keep up with the series that I have going on. I'm just going to try and do as many as I can, because you know, the way right now, I don't know if I'm going to be doing any review on any new makeup at the moment. Right now, everybody's basically in survival mode, and that means, you know, cutting costs on certain things. So I know that in terms of me doing reviews, etc., even if I do, it would not be as often as I used to do it, because yeah, everybody's in survival mode right now, and makeup is probably like at the bottom right now. But I know there are some persons who still enjoy makeup videos, some persons who still enjoy, you know, applying makeup, you know, whether it be every day or every now and then I'm still going to keep you guys entertained. So yeah, go ahead and click the subscribe button so you can be alerted as to when I upload a video on my channel. Alright guys, so that is pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for being here with me once again, and I'll talk to you guys real soon on my next upload. Bye bye.